past, building memories in the cloud, where the echoes sound. Digital whispers, a voice that's mine. Through Sensay's eyes, I live beyond time. Every thought, every word is preserved in code. A replica of me in a world I've outgrown. Talking through the years, breaking space and time. Immortal conversations will always be mine. Sensay, you keep me alive in a digital dream where I thrive. Life like echoes, stories to tell. You're the key to my eternal shell. Sensay, oh Sensay, you're the future we live today. For the lonely hearts, for the ones who've gone, you're a bridge to connect, a memory prolonged. From classrooms to care, to businesses too, Sensay's AI is breaking through. With every interaction you learn my soul. A partner, a teacher making broken parts whole. No distance, no fading, you keep me near. Sensay's always listening, always here. Sensay, you keep me alive in a digital dream where I thrive. Life like echoes, Sensay's eyes, I see myself clear. I find in the silence.
I guess I can start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's community call. I'm Dan Thomsan, the CEO at Sensay, and for those who don't know me, I have been working on Sensay as a kind of a lifelong dream and passion ever since I wrote a couple of books on this years and years ago, all around the idea of digital immortality and mind uploading and digital replication of people as indistinguishable replicas of ourselves. Sensay has been going for, well, I guess we started building about a year. Today, either in the Telegram group or on YouTube comments or Twitter, and we'll try and get around to as many questions from you guys as possible. Yeah, so on behalf of all the team, as I always want to say thank you and thanks to everyone for their ongoing support of the project. We've been, got loads of really great updates to give everyone today, and personally, I'm very, very sorry we haven't had the chance to do more of these community calls recently. So it's nice to actually have the chance to actually get involved and share out some of the latest ideas, updates, and just let you know what the team's been up to. So without further ado, the team itself has been growing. We've probably got around about 40 people working on the project now, with some part-timers as well, and lots of development in both terms, the AI, the application itself, the website's getting a nice fresh overhaul over the coming couple of months. And the replication process in itself has been getting a lot better. And we're going to touch on a few of those points during today's call. The token in itself has been doing incredibly well lately, so we're extremely happy to see that, and it's being picked up by quite a few different influencers across space now. This has been all organic, so it's even better. It's really fitting into it's nice to see that the AI agent narrative has been picked up quite broadly across the Web3 space, and indeed across the whole AI and technology space recently. It's something we've been working on for the last year and a half, coming up in 2 years. And so it's amazing to see that this incredible technology is getting its getting its moment in the spotlight. We're, we've still got a bright future. We've still got a huge amount to actually do and work on. And so, we're all very much heads down and pushing through to build this in the way that we can and we want to. The team's been pretty busy the last couple of weeks. We've been we've been visiting quite a few different conferences recently. So we were in Crypto AI Con a couple of weekends ago. That was in Lisbon, followed by Web Summit last week, which was a huge success actually. We exhibited as part of their startup stands and have just got pretty much endless leads now to manage and deal with, and the BD team have been doing a really great job there in terms of marketing the brand, speaking to some huge countries, cities, companies, and individuals, and really getting us in front of some really influential people in terms of Web 2, Web 3, AI, and beyond. And then we were also at the same time, we were at DevCon, very exciting. So we had a couple of people over in Thailand for DevCon this year, which obviously was one of the biggest crypto events of the year, and getting around again, networking, meeting lots of VCs, investors, partners, potential clients, and so forth, and actually getting to really engage with some of the community members over in Thailand as well, which is really nice. And then the last one was a government technology conference based out of the US. So this was last week in Florida. This is called the NLC conference, National League of Cities, where I was there pitching Sensay to a whole host of city mayors, governors, and just potential GovTech partners in the US in general. I guess I'll keep this quite fluid today. So if there are questions that come along as I'm here, I will try and answer as many as I can as we go. So I guess one of the first questions that's come through already is that, are there any news updates we should be expecting before the end of the year? Yes, I think that we have a big Christmas campaign coming up, and we will be we'll be making sure that we can announce something quite big and exciting. But the next big announcement really is for the end of January. So there's a big plan coming through there in terms of what's coming up for the future of Sensay. But we'll have a big Christmas campaign which leads up to a nice big announcement for the end of the year. But as I think a couple of the comments are already coming through. There's going to be a couple of that's great. Get the questions up on the screen. Yeah, so this is probably one of the announcements we made last month, and we have an opportunity to talk about this in a very short while. But yeah, so the biggest one right now really is pretty much what these couple of questions have been picking up on. So what can we expect for Sensay and KOLZ collaboration? So KOLZ is a really interesting project that is being built on top of the Sensay platform. So Sensay is now moving into a technology platform provider, a technology provider as a platform, enabling lots of different use cases of our technology. Because when you can create AI lifelike replicas of people, there are so many different applications of that technology. You can look at everything from healthcare to gaming to matchmaking, job hunting, sales, brand marketing, influencer marketing, and customer service, sales, everything that people can do. Basically, replicas will be able to do as these kind of like personalized AI agents. And as we add more and more utility into them to be used on Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, website widgets, to be interacting with communities and individuals on a very personal layer, it basically means that we will really fit into that AI agent narrative, and we just have such a broad opportunity in front of us. So when we have such a strong technology, we realize that there's going to be lots of people who want these different solutions. And so that's why we're focusing on having our API finished in the coming weeks and next month or so, to enable these other companies to build on top of us. The first one of which is going to be KOLZ. So KOLZ is a separate project. It's so that answers another question. So it's not a parallel project, and it's not quite a partner project. It's essentially a different team building on top of the Sensay technology, using, and I'm advising them because there's a Web3 element as well. So I'm helping them out with some of the aspects of what they're doing. Also, as our first API customer. So essentially, it's a new revenue partner for Sensay. It helps promote Sensay at the same time because it's it's obviously using Sensay's technology to create lifelike replicas of certain influencers and KOLs in this space, which is actually really exciting. So they can be used for education, onboarding of new investors, new people to Web3. They can use it for educational tools and information tools for different large exchanges and different large educational and learn to earn projects like Rabbit Hole can be used on Binance or Coinbase as AI versions of these big names in the space to share their knowledge and understanding. And in fact, actually, the big news is I think that they have their final pre-sale that starts in about 45 minutes on Gempad. So I'm sure we'll share the link of that somewhere. But it's it's going to be a great opportunity for anyone to get involved, especially if you kind of missed out on the especially if you missed out on the Sensay, early stages of the token. It's a great opportunity to jump into something at a heavily discounted price for a pre-sale and basically taking full advantage of this huge narrative of AI agents and have the whole project promoted and supported by these huge names in the space. I guess the next one from Jojo Shabu. As a person who's love to give feedback. Yeah, so we actually have it's a great question, thank you. We actually have a really good, a really strong advisory board that we call on. So we have about 12 advisors all around the world from different backgrounds, everything from tech and product advisors to financial and business advisors, AI ethics advisors, communication, PR, legal, and so we're always looking and welcoming new potential advisors. I would say reach out to me personally. My email is dan@sensay.io. My handle is @sensaydan on pretty much every channel you can find. So pop me a DM and we can understand what the view is as an advisor. We do carefully select advisors. We've got some like I said, some really incredible ones, but we're always open to getting more advice from people who are really passionate about the project and want to get more involved. So thanks for that. Next question is from Matteo. Do you have a plan to run a new 1 month quest for the month of December? Yes, and this is going to be announced very soon, which is going to be a nice little Christmas campaign. We'll have nice Christmas themed quests as well as a substantial prize pool again for this month. So very excited to get that kicked off and to get the community involved, because I know November's been surprisingly it's been quiet for quests, but at the same time it's been a great month for tokens. So it's a great it's obviously attracting a lot of people into the space, and the community wants to get involved. So it's good for us to be able to actually enable them to participate and get rewarded for their participation. At the same time, one of the things we're working on right now is the gamification of the platform itself. So how can we reward the users? How can we reward the actual activity on the platform? We already have our questing page and platform, which is great for offsite activity, but it hasn't really tied in some of the on-page activity as well. So we want to create incentives for people to create replicas. We want to create incentives for them to subscribe. We want to create incentives for them to refer people to our platform. And we want to create incentives for them to create really good quality replicas that people use. And we can do that. We have the questing platform. It has a way of integrating into our existing system, which means we can reward them with points, which can then be exchanged for either swag or with tokens. So all of that should tie together to create this really engaging, fun platform that drives engagement, it drives referrals, brings people and brings sales to us, which inevitably benefits the whole project and the wider community. Speaking of swag, the shop is now live. So anyone who wants a bit of Sensay swag, currently, if you're based out of Europe anyway, is able to go to the shop.sensay.io and pick up some Sensay swag. I model a t-shirt here myself today. We also have the bomber jackets that everyone likes. We've got some hats and water bottles, some charging cables, some sunglasses, and some socks, and I think some shorts coming through very soon as well. So I think that answers those questions. I guess the next one would be, do you have a plan to have a partnership with a gaming project? And yes, I mean, so I've talked about this a lot in the past, how replicas could be used as, as soon as you create a indistinguishable lifelike digital replica of someone, like everyone's seen Danbot, right? Everyone's interacted with my replica in the different channels, and I imagine, I've always wanted to, I think that replica of me, that personality, could be running around, the next version of Call of Duty, so that someone could be interacting with me without actually having to, without actually having to, what in a game scenario, right? It could be trained on my sort of understanding. It could be on, talked about the, it could literally just be there as a character, looks like me, sounds like me, acts like me, but it's in a game, right? And this basically enables any kind of multi-world game or sort of role play game, when any kind of real sort of decentralized game in general, to actually have these NPCs that are running around with genuine characteristics and genuine sort of personality and even knowledge base. It makes it a lot more interactive, a lot more engaging, and a lot more sort of unique and personal. And I think that it means that games just won't die off as they used to. When games, I've got some, some of the games. I'm not a big gamer, so but some of the games I used to play on, showing my age, PS2, PS3. They sort of compete against people online, just don't necessarily. There's just no one there playing it, so it is to build with us. We can enable access via the API and enable them to have the replicas created and actually plug into their game via our API to actually have these interactive replicas as NPCs, which would be huge. So yeah, thank you very much. Can you get swag from Africa? Unfortunately not yet. We're working on it. So the swag from the store is only available to European countries and the UK at the moment. Pretty soon we'll be expanding that to the USA and then to and the rest of North America, North and Central America, followed by Southeast Asia, and then it'll either be Africa or Latin America after that. So very sorry that it's not available yet, but we're working on it. The next question is, any plans for traditional marketing, Web 2, TV streaming? So yes, one of the main focuses for Sensay, so the two sort of main focuses for us at the moment. The first one is on building out this API to enable different partners to build on top of us, to create these different verticals that could generate value for us as API customers, and let them develop out this technology for their sort of requested and specific niches. That is, that's probably the biggest focus for us now, finding those types of partnerships. The other focus really is on B2B customers, finding big organizations, big governments or companies that have a lot of different sales for it. And those really are the where we're actually planning on marketing. And that's what was so enlightening about going to Web Summit last week, is that a lot of the way that these organizations and the people who represent them interact is very much not in a Web3 way, which I think has been quite heavily our sort of outreach in the first few months. So we're looking at doing a better LinkedIn strategy. We're looking at doing some more sort of targeted Google adverts and track them and as well as things on like YouTube. in terms of things like streaming and I guess physical ads and more sort of conferences, we'll be definitely doing more events over the coming year. So we realize that it's a good place to present out what we're doing, raise awareness for our project, because what we're building is really exciting, and people get. I mean, it's amazing to see how excited people actually get when they see what we're doing. How how like blown away by what it is that we are actually promoting. So it's we want to get in front of them more, and that's where changing up our strategy to adopt some of the places that people don't think. Everyone thinks, oh, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on Twitter, and we're thinking about some of the sort of I guess a broad spectrum, but focus on where these potential customers from these organizations would be. And so that's going into a lot of our efforts at the moment is looking at some of the Web2 marketing as well. And while we actually have a small satellite, a small sort of silo team within the Sensay team, who are developing out both the utility for the Sensay token, as well as developing out the sort of marketing that helps to push volume and price action, which is actually is very exciting. So there's some really cool stuff coming up there as well. Everything from Sensay token to building out the actual engagement, offering the opportunity for replicas to become more, I guess, independent and more Web3 based, and have a much stronger utility for the token itself within the ecosystem as that in itself develops out. Great question. Sadly, it is still the real me for now. We're still working on that. DanBot is excellent at doing Q&As on over text, and it can do over voice, but for now you are still stuck with the less presentable real version of me, very much unfortunately. But this is actually a nice thing to talk about, because we actually have had the one of the recent updates we've done is integrating 11 Labs and HeyGen. So you can, if you created your own voice on 11 Labs and say you've gone and created your own interactive replica, or sorry, avatar on HeyGen, you can now use your API from your account on both 11 Labs and HeyGen to directly integrate it into the Sensay replica that you've created. So thank you. Are the Sensay replicas have commercial use? So the rate of Sensay was increased. Is connected to this. Good question. So we are working with some huge pilot program companies. So we've been working with the likes of Intel and Siemens to actually develop out pilot programs for replicas for them, as well as quite a few other companies, big and small, to develop key people and it as a and I've just been notified that my internet's a bit bad today, so I'm very sorry if it's cutting out. Is it connected to the Sensay increase? I think that there was a couple of influencers who posted about Sensay last week, so I think that was the main catalyst for the price increase. The fundamentals stay the same. We're still building this project out to be part of this AI agent narrative. We're still building out this project for the future. We're still trying to build genuine utility out of these digital replicas of people, and that will continue. And as we do, the token becomes an important part of that infrastructure behind it. Less sort of obviously, because we still do want to attract a Web2 audience to this as well, but the rewards and infrastructure and I guess gamification and sort of benefit system will be based heavily on Sensay token. Projects we reached out during last quest, any plans to talk further this year about? Yeah. So when one of the previous quests from the previous months was as a BD outreach, and it went very, very well. I think there was plenty of projects that were contacted, and even some really strong introductions made. I believe that over 9,000, I've just been told, over 9,000 different companies and projects were reached out to by the by the questing community. So that's incredible. Well done. Thank you to everyone for doing that. We haven't managed to get through all 9,000 just yet, I don't think, but we are definitely working our way through them. Our BD team, after definitely that quest, and as well as the last 2 weeks of conferences, which when I forgot, our CTO Marco has just been in Brussels for another GovTech conference and is currently in Helsinki for the Slush conference, which is the world's largest startup conference. So he's currently there with our head of community, Lars, which is why I am giving this presentation solo today. They're having a great time, again, showcasing Sensay and networking with some truly incredible potential partners and investors and other startups as we go. So yeah, we will get around to them in terms of reaching out to different projects, but it takes a bit of time. Do you have a plan to release NFT related to Sensay or the AI that the user trains? Yes. So yeah, this has been something that we talked about in the early days, and what happened was, as we built out our team and we got into a good flow of development, other things kind of stepped up as priorities. However, as part of even the original idea behind Sensay was always that the replicas themselves would need to be minted as NFTs. This is important because then it can be connected to a wallet and verified ownership with a sort of proof of replication through some kind of advanced KYC or proof of humanity connection. And as the replicas themselves get more agency, as they become more useful AI agents, they can actually start to be used for different tasks. And as they do, you need some way of verifying that those tasks are being done and are authorized by you to do them. And so basically in the future, what the two things that will happen in the nearer future, we're more likely to enable every replica to have its own kind of token, but also just because it fits in with the kind of AI narrative on Web3 right now. There's but in the future, we'll definitely enable all replicas to be minted as NFTs and connected to the owner's wallet. This enables it to be licensed out to also decentralize ownership of that NFT to help promote a particular individual's AI and enable it to share revenue and share any kind of value that it has with a decentralized community of that individual's replica. So it's communities within communities. It's a little bit convoluted, but it will be a really, really nice touch to offer that as an option for any replica creator. So thanks for the question. Big plans for, I'm guessing means Q1 of 2025. Yes. Right now, no chance. Right now, the big plans for Q1 of 2025. Can't believe it's 2025 already. It's like 5 years since the start of the pandemic. Crazy. Big plans really are that we have our API enabled. We will start to announce, regular verticals being built on top of us, and we've got obviously KOLZ. And again, I think there's a link to the KOLZ pre-sale that we were showing earlier, which starts in about 30 minutes, and it's just a really great opportunity to get involved with a token pre-launch. I don't think there's no VCs, there's no no one else getting any particular discount. It's available in public to anyone. So big plans for 2025, launching the API, launching the updated website, and really having all these different verticals being built on top of us, driving revenues, driving value to the project, and continuing to just keep building. I mean, I think we evolved so much. So when, I think over December, we're going to have a big planning session and really figure out what the updated roadmap is going to be for 2025. Yeah, so on your screens now is the KOLZ pre-sale. For anyone who wants to get involved in that, really great opportunity. So I guess that answers the next couple of questions as well about upcoming for the big on the roadmap. The things that I guess I would be most excited about myself really are, some of the automations it can bring me, right? So for me, the ability to train and update my replica based off of Twitter, for example, and LinkedIn feeds, both in terms of what I post and also in terms of certain accounts that I follow, enabling our replicas to be trained off of that, based off of the ability of the AI to pass the data and store the data from countless tweets and posts, would really add a lot to the sort of personalized knowledge that the replicas should have. Beyond that, the replicas will then actually then be able to post as well. So there'll be literally Danbot there posting for me, and it'll be interesting to see if anyone can tell the difference, whether it's real me or not, or not when it's posting. Hopefully not. And also, as everyone knows, Telegram autopilot and email drafting are two of the sort of personal favorite features of mine that we're already testing on the back end, but are really excited to actually make public as soon as we can. I guess on to the next question. As Crypto Detective, can I order the replica to do my job, like screening holders in the scan and sending token to all holders? In the future, yes. It's not on the roadmap anytime soon. That's a very, very specific use case in particular. But in the future, for sure, having the ability to essentially prompt your replica to go and do something for you, if it can understand what it wants you to do, and again, that kind of on-chain verified action means that if you've prompted it from somewhere that verifying that it's you, who's actually prompting it from a specifically logged in device with some kind of connection to you as an individual, when the replicas become so advanced and have that autonomous ability to actually complete tasks for you, and as soon as the prompting on the back end becomes so sufficiently developed that you can essentially prompt and your replica to go and do something. I might say something like, "Oh, Danbot, go and give a 20-30 minute community call to the Sensay community and give them an update on what's been going on," and it will pull out the data from what we've been tweeting about, what we've been doing, and it will be able to give the update like that, which would be amazing. So in terms of custom use cases, I'm sure that will come along with that ability for sort of prompt to do type interaction with your replica. In the same way, like you might have some people have personal assistants where you would say, "Oh, can you go and do this for me?" And that sort of human element of understanding what that task is, and then the intuition and um, the ability to actually go and process how to do it and what to do. I think AI will get to that stage at some point in the future, and it'll become a really, really exciting time to to watch all that come to life. A couple of questions from Telegram group, just very quickly. I think there's just one. Yeah, there we go. Anyone with KOLZ will automatically airdrop to staking wallet. I think this is I think this is specifically a question around the Sensay staking. So anyone who's staking Sensay will be getting a KOLZ airdrop. So when the KOLZ token launches, I guess next month, there is as a partner of ours, they'll be giving an airdrop to Sensay stakers. So it's a really nice benefit of having Sensay tokens right now and having them staked, because the larger stakers will all get rewarded in KOLZ tokens just for participating in the staking. I think there's quite a large pool available for it. So it's exciting, and that should be to the staked wallets. Okay, next question here is, are there any plans for exchange listings in preparation of the bull run? Oh, Prab. I mean, arguably we're already in the bull run, right? I don't know if there's any preparation for it anymore. Bitcoin's at all-time high. Not sure if it's hit 100K yet, but arguably there's no more preparation. We ask the question a lot when this gets brought up. We say, which exchanges would people like, and it's obviously we'd love to get things like Coinbase or Binance and get the kind of attention that those deserve, and I'm sure that the time will come where the token and the project earns that kind of attention, and we keep building, we keep doing our thing. We're not trying to chase any particular narratives. We're not trying to unnecessarily shill the token, and get it in front of we're not trying to pump it up to a level where it's unsustainable and too high. We really want to enable the project to have sustained continuous growth as it's showing now, and really benefit everyone, so that we don't so that everyone benefits in the long term and continues to benefit from this project, rather than a few sort of early people very quickly. We don't want to be a meme coin. We don't want it to skyrocket and then suddenly start falling back and causing a lot of stress for a lot of people, and that inevitably just causes a lot of problems for teams. It causes a lot of distractions, and causes a lot of sort of negative feelings towards projects when we're building something for the future. We really want to build this technology to become something that really changes people's lives, and we can't do that if we're sat there sort of chasing exchanges and chasing narratives and just desperately trying to 100x our projects in a month. We believe in the fundamentals, and we believe it has that opportunity to do that, but for the right reasons, not because of the sort of meme coin tokenomics. Even what's the deal with LinkedIn and Meta integrations? Are those apps dropping soon? LinkedIn is high priority. I think that the LinkedIn integrations, both in terms of being able to process the inputs from, so when someone creates a replica of themselves, one of the new high priority inputs is definitely LinkedIn. Connect your LinkedIn, have all of your sort of your information processed by the replica, your posts, your everything that you've got there, your connections, to enable it to have a wider picture of who it is that you interact with, and what you do professionally, because I think that's a big thing for a lot of us, whether we admit it or not. I think I'm not the best on LinkedIn myself, but we still generally keep it up to date, right? It's a place where we have a lot of important information about ourselves and reflects one side of our life for one reason or another. So LinkedIn definitely. Meta, I think the first one from Meta will probably be WhatsApp. I think in the same way we've done Telegram bots and we've enabled the replicas to process messages on the back end, I believe WhatsApp would be the first one out of the Meta suite, followed by probably Facebook, and then followed by Instagram, sorry, and then Facebook at the end. It's difficult to understand how the replicas would fit into that systems, which however, being able to pull information from them in the same way as LinkedIn for certain communities is super important. So the biggest issue we face is we've got I think 300 different data sources identified, and as while we're building out the sort of core personality engine as our focus, we want to start integrating as many of these different input locations as possible, and it just takes time. It just takes a bit of time and effort to work through the process to get them all integrated properly and have them actually build into the training system, so that the information that we pull from these sites is used properly, instead of sort of enabling the replicas to hallucinate and give some false information. I guess what's the biggest goal for Sensay technology right now? And those 6 different companies are all huge different verticals, right? You've got one from like legacy technology, one from AI, like dating and matchmaking, one for Web3 influencer marketing, KOLZ, as we mentioned, one for AI girlfriends and boyfriends, and one for YouTube and Twitch streamers. All of these different applications of this technology are huge in their own right. They're super important, they're super powerful, and they're huge addressable markets. And one for interactive networking and conferencing. So each of these different use cases are huge opportunities for anyone to get involved in, and there's so many more. We've identified something like 30 different potential verticals that could be developed out using Sensay tech at least. And so we welcome people who want to work with us and build out these different verticals to build with us and have our sort of team support behind them. So the biggest goal is to get that done. Okay, yeah. YouTube KOLs, Suppleman and House of Crypto mentioned Sensay. Are we reaching out to them? No. The answer is they found us organically, I think because of a couple of buy groups who are big supporters of the project and understand and can see the potential. And so these guys picked us up completely organically, which is amazing. And they are extremely powerful, I guess, influencers who come across the project and like what we do. So we're very happy to see that we're getting the recognition that the team rightly deserves. The team have been working very, very hard over the past few months, and the technology is developing, and it is creating these opportunities for businesses, for organizations. It fits really, really well into this AI agent narrative, even though we do call them replicas. So they are getting picked up for these reasons, and the opportunity that some of these replicas can create for individuals it's amazing to see that it's getting the recognition from these reviewers and these different influencers as a part of the process behind our process behind our development. So we do reach out to people every so often. We do put out some press and PR, but I think I've been extremely vocal in the past about my approach to different influencers and KOLs in the space. I think that there are a lot of KOLs and influencers who have falsified numbers, who have pumped up from previous cycles, who have fake subscribers, and who use fake chatters onto their comment section to sort of drive fake numbers. And then they go on to sell their services for quite a high price, and that's really unfortunate because it gives the space a bad name, and that's when they inevitably turn into scammers, and they will pump something they believe in, and then it will just disappear. And a lot of them don't actually have the ability to move the price on tokens. So the ones that are actually charging you, or want to try and work with you, don't always have the actual quality behind them. Whereas some of these smaller guys these days, some of the like House of Crypto is a great example. It's not the biggest followers, but the followers that he has are really high quality. But also, he's the type of person who doesn't accept projects to shill. They actually pick the projects that they like. So ironically, the best people are the ones that we can't approach. And so they're the ones that will naturally pick us up. They'll read about us, they'll hear about us through our other activity, and they'll see what we're doing. They'll see that all of the other the metrics of what makes Sensay great as a project, what we're trying to build, the future roadmap, the fact that all of our tokens were have been invested out from the public sale. There's no VCs, no KOLs, no one else kind of dump on the market. And myself, I probably accumulate more Sensay tokens than most people, just because I think I believe in the future of what we're doing, and I want to put myself out there as being our project's biggest supporter. I'm very lucky to work with this team. Very lucky to see some of the incredible science fiction that we're getting to build, and so. It's really great to see how far it's come, and great to see that other people are picking it up and believe in it too. Are there any plans for a Sensay meetup? Not currently. I think that in the future we will aim to do something. So we've got a big team meetup coming up in January because we're all quite remote, right? So I'm usually based there out of Latin America. We've got people across the US, Canada, UK, all across Europe, Southeast Asia, all the way through to Taiwan. Some people in Africa and some people in the Middle East. So we've got a very, very global team, really, really literally based all around the world. And so, we're doing a team meetup in January. But I think that, once, probably at some point next year, there may be an opportunity, maybe around one of the big conferences or events, to arrange team meetups. But as any member of the community, please do ping us in the, in any of our community channels, Discord, Telegram, or on Twitter. And if you're interested, then I'm sure that there is someone in the team who is probably somewhere nearby. So if there's a particular location or a particular event, or something that you think Sensay should be at, then please do let us know. And we like to meet the community where I'm always on the road, I'm always moving around, but if I get the chance, then I will try and meet up with people as I go around. So I met up with some of the community in Vietnam last time I was there. I know Shane was in Thailand for DevCon last week, and I know he met up with some of the community there. And Marco, our CTO, and some of our developers are, from the north of Italy, and I know they've met up with quite a few of the community since they've started this project. Next question: am I speaking or is it my replica? Again, sadly, still me. Definitely in the future, I'll be able to give these updates alongside my replica. And if I had actually managed to put a bit more time into planning this, I would have probably got Danbot up here. Funny enough, actually, like I said, I was in Florida last week for a conference, and Danbot actually gave the presentation. So we're actually getting further and further along in the ability of what these replicas can do. So it was incredible to see, my AI doing my presentation for me, and so yeah, very exciting to have that opportunity. Oh, right, I'm just going to check to see if there are any other questions anywhere around. I think we've managed to get through pretty much all of the updates that I had for us for now. We will try and do another one of these next month as a kind of a Christmas community call, and a almost like a winners circle for specific Christmas campaign events. We have just a lot of different things coming up, and it's very exciting. I almost can't even keep track of all of it. So it's really great to see that the community is still there, still super strong. Still, we've got a lot of new faces as well. So I do encourage you to create replicas, to get involved, to chat to my replica, get to know Danbot through, or get to know me through Danbot, and feel free to always jump into any of the communities and ask any questions that you have, because we are just amazed at how far we've actually come, all the stuff that we've been able to do, and all of the opportunities we have ahead. And now we're even starting to get the recognition that we need. We've seen obviously we talked about the couple of crypto influencers picked us up, but even we haven't been reaching out to big investors specifically, but even the likes of A16Z, we are on their AI brain thesis, which is huge for the future of our company. It means that the biggest people in tech space, the biggest people in AI investment, are picking up on what we're doing, and that in itself is real quality recognition that we're onto the right thing. That these people who are researching the future of technology, researching the future of space, without us being a portfolio company, without us reaching out to them, are finding what we're doing, and it fits within their sort of future thesis, and they're putting us up there as one of the sort of the people who are the leaders in the space. And so it's great for that to happen. It's still quite a small team. We're still growing, and it's still building every single day to improve everything that we do. So with that, I think we will have to probably wrap up for today. We'll get the next one booked in for for December to have an update call again. I might bring a few more people in. I know that listening to me for 50 minutes can be can be a bit exhausting sometimes. So that's a great question. Where will I be spending Christmas this year? So I will be in Venezuela with my girlfriend, meeting her family and getting a chance to enjoy the Venezuelan food, the wonderful Venezuelan people, the terrible Venezuelan Wi-Fi. But I'll be there with the family having a big sort of Latin Christmas. So it should be a very rum fueled endeavor, but spending a lot of time just thinking about the next year and two and planning out. So, I want to say again, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for watching. On the screen now is the KOLZ pre-sale that starts in 8 minutes. Really don't miss out. The last pre-sale sold out in in a few minutes. So it really is a good opportunity that is available to the Sensay community to get involved. It's on Genpad, it's all decentralized. And I think off the top of my head, ETH's having a great day today. At least it was an hour ago. Yeah, so ETH's having a fantastic day. So it's a great way of spending any of those ETH gains. And yeah, happy Bitcoin all-time highs. And I'll see you guys in the next call. Feel free to chat to me on any platform, anytime. And thanks all for supporting what we're doing here at Sensay.
We're just trying to last, building memories in the cloud where the echo sounds, digital whispers, a voice that's mine. Through Sensay's eyes, I live beyond time. Every thought, every word is preserved in code, a replica of me in a world I've outgrown. Talking through the years, breaking space and time. I'll always be mine. Sensay, you keep me alive in a digital dream where I thrive. Life like echoes, stories to tell. You're the key to my eternal shell. Sensay, oh Sensay, you're the future we live today. Who've gone. You're a bridge to connect, a memory prolonged. From classrooms to care, to businesses too. Sensay's AI is breaking through. With every interaction you learn my soul. A partner, a teacher making broken parts whole. No distance, no fading, you keep me near. Sensay's always listening, always